All right, welcome to the Trap Boot Camp podcast. This
Hey
is
y'all.
the
Sorry.
end version. We are outdoors today. It is rainy outside, and we decided to just meet up and talk online about a few things. Today's topic is, I guess we'll say, 5 things, 5 exercises to do after a car accident.
I take you if you wanna go.
I was in a car accident the other day. Now, there's kind of like a backstory to the whole thing, because when I purchased a certain insurance, it took quite a bit of time to get this insurance. Now, I'm not going to give that insurance company any plug right now, but yeah, they are not sponsoring this video.
Right.
But I'm glad that I purchased this insurance because I guess it was the 28th, October 28th. I was traveling down Vine, and there was a car in front of me, a Mercedes Benz, a white Mercedes Benz. I will never forget that. And that car stopped suddenly. And my car has automatic brake locks, right?
Mhm.
And when I stopped, I was like, oh God, like I was on the phone with my cousin, but I was like happy that my car stopped, it was like, wow. So I stopped. And as soon as I was like, I missed it, damn, like that, I felt an impact from behind immediately.
Yeah.
And right when I felt the impact, I did instantly feel like my back and my neck kind of feel kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So I pulled to the side. I seen the person behind me. They hit their steering wheel really hard, like,
Yeah.
and I pulled over. And when I pulled over to get my information, I noticed that I looked and that person hit the corner. And I was like, okay, they're going to pull over at the corner to stop traffic. As soon as they didn't come back fast enough, I drove up. They were gone.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And then what pissed me off is like there was nobody really around me. The person that was behind me, they just kept going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had no witnesses. There was a FedEx truck right there, but there's really nothing we could do.
Yeah.
So, I afterwards, when I finished, I kind of like pulled over and I was really shaken up. And I called 911. I told them what happened. I thought that I should wait for a police officer, but they were like, if you don't need to go to the ambulance, then you should, is your car drivable? I said, yes. And she said, okay, well, then you can fill out a police report online.
So crazy.
So I filled out that police report online and went on to my day and went to my client's. Well, it was a friend's house, but I was braiding her hair. And I was just, I didn't do anything, but I didn't feel anything until the next day.
Of course. Yeah.
After the next day, I was like feeling a little bit tight. And then the day after that, it felt a little more tight. And instantly I was like, okay, I'm going to have to call the chiropractor. But, I think my major mistake was like the insurance company, right? They hit you right away.
Yeah.
They hit you, no pain. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, well, you $2,000 right now just so that you can take care of yourself and, go to the hospital. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I need to get massages, chiropractor. I'm thinking that, I don't know. I guess your brain isn't really all together when it happens. So it's probably wait a day.
Yeah.
And I think so. And so, I kind of like went ahead, was like, okay, I gave the information. Moving forward, it was very quick the way things move forward. And of course I had a good deductible. It was only like 500, which is still, a hit to me, but I had uninsured motors too. So that will take care of my car being fixed, bodily harm. So that's cool. But afterwards, we came on here, me and Sam came on here to kind of just talk about the exercises that you should be doing after you have a car accident.
Yes.
So, Sam, I'm going to let you kind of come on in and talk about it, because I know from our training that it is something that like most people don't know. They'll just be like, well, I'm just going to take a few days. And I kind of feel like in a way I should have taken more days off, but I'm glad that I kind of got back to work, because even though I'm feeling the pain, you know, up and down, I feel like today's workout was excellent. Like I felt so much better when I left there. I feel balanced, and, you know, so yeah, I want to kind of like, you know, talk to you some of the things that you do to, you know, help clients if they say they've been in.
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because I like totaled my Scion. I'm sure you remember, like a few months ago when I was at the house. Yeah. And I was lucky I didn't have any pain, but I do remember that shock and like wanting to take a couple of days off. And like, I just got I had like a bruise on my knee, like glass in my hair for a long time, but like, it wasn't as bad as you. But I think you're right. Like initially taking a day, maybe two off, just to see how your body settles, because I'm sure everyone's heard of people getting in accidents and they like seize up, but they don't really feel it for a while. But you going right back into working out, essentially, like at least like what, 2, maybe 3 days later, I think is beneficial, because there is also the concept of immobility causes more harm than mobility.
Right. I think the day I went in, I was a little bit too antsy. On Monday, I went in, I was like, yes, it's Halloween, I'm about to do swings. I started swinging, and then I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Right in my rhomboids, like in my lower back. I was like, okay, we're laying back on the floor. We're gonna do those pushes from the floor now.
Yeah. And actually, you saying that, the first thing when we were talking about this is I was thinking of diaphragmatic breathing on the floor. But like, so just the diaphragmatic breathing in like the dead bug position, you know, so like your knees are up, like tabletop position, heels are maybe like rested on a ball or whatever. And then you're just like letting your breath, excuse my PJs, your breath like from here. So you're just concentrating on breathing from here and relaxing. And then that hopefully gets you out of your secondary like breathing, which is typically from your chest. And I just always find that that helps relax like your spine and like just normally any tension that's like traveled anywhere else. But
I did a series of diaphragmatic breathing, hip hinges, dead bugs, and some, what else? Bird dogs, just to kind of align. But I like, even sitting here for a while, like I know exactly where the pain is. Like it's in my lumbar on the left side. And it's kind of like when I went into the chiropractor, which is the number one thing you should do if you don't go to the hospital or to the doctor for MRI, CAT scanning, that stuff. If you're not that badly injured, the first thing to do is go to a chiropractor.
I've never been to a chiropractor, believe it or not.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know. So I went, quick story about the chiropractor. I have a chiropractor that I've been going to for quite some time, because I had back pain from sitting at work and all kind of stuff. So I went to him, and one time he had allowed his office mate to do the work, because he was late. He had to go do something else. So this guy, as again, I'm not giving any plugs right now, but when he initially had me on the chiropractic table, I didn't know, like, the way that he was doing it. At first, I was like, okay, this guy's a little handsy. Like, he's always like, all right, you got this. And then he'll tap it. Boom, 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 and I was like, oh, okay. So, there was, when I got there, I'm so glad he was there, because sometimes my original chiropractor just does a general, you know, thing. So what he did was he laid me down on the ground, and no, not on the ground, on the table. And then he took my hand here like this and stuck his finger under my arm.
Oh, and like the serratus area?
It was his long arm. And then he's like, take a nice deep breath. Now I went in, and he just pushed down like that. And instantly I could breathe again.
Oh, wow.
And it was weird because I was feeling my lower lumbar, but I was also feeling a pain right up into my neck.
Uh-huh.
Every inhale, it was like,
Was it causing you a headache up in here as well?
it was pulling up to here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as he did that, I could breathe. Like I was no more pain in my breath.
That's
So
great.
quick fix though, I was supposed to go back to see him on Saturday, and my sister advised me to go to a Thai to get a massage. And this lady does Thai massage. I told you.
Yeah, you told me.
Like it was interesting because she, at first, like I didn't know what to expect. I know the place that I go, they do Thai massage, but it's like, mid aggressive and not really super aggressive. This woman was like instantly like, dude, she had her foot she had my arm here and my leg here and her heel in my fucking hip and my ass cheek. All her might, yo. Every last bit of her might was in there. I was like, oh my God. Okay.
See, too much tension down yonder. Just say it.
No, I didn't know that I needed that. And then I think she got on my back and she stood on my back. There's poles up here, right?
Uh-huh.
She stood on my back and heel pressed. Like she kept one foot on my lower lumbar left side and foot from her big toe and squeezed all the way out to the side and crack. Oh my God. It was rough though. Like she had me like in a fucking headlock. I swear it felt like that. She was like, she had one of those like pieces of ivory and she was scraping my neck.
Oh my God. Wow, this sounds like such a kinky Saturday night.
It was a day, Saturday.
It was a day.
It was a day. Believe me. And like towards the end, I was kind of like, oh my God, I can't wait till this shit is over. Like, oh my God. But at the end, she did 90 minutes. It was.
Oh, wow, you didn't tell me that.
90 minutes of intensity, okay?
Get all the like 10 is out of you, girl, from every angle.
Out, like, she was like, it was so funny. She was like, your first time massage like this? I said, at first I said, no, not my first time. Afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, like that, yeah, first time.
Like that. Yes.
You take ibuprofen.
What?
Oh, she said, you take ibuprofen.
Okay, you're like, okay. So funny. Oh my God. Yeah, you're gonna have to put her number down there because I'm sure a lot of people got some tension up in that butt crack, you know what I'm saying?
Really did like my glutes, like I have never had my fascia blasted like that. Like seriously, it is intense, but some of the times when she was pushing on, she was like pushing hard as hell. And I was like, ooh, but when she came off, it felt so good. It was like a good hurt. Yeah. So I'm like, into the BDSM, which probably I am. Either or that was just the ass kicking I needed. You know what I mean? I'm still tight in my neck and my lower lumbar, but I'm going back, girl. I'm going back Saturday. I'm going back
to go see her.
I'm gonna go to the chiropractor first and then her after.
Yeah, I think I always think that way too. I'm like, I think a chiropractor, massage, and working out should be combined because a chiropractor works with like the structural of like releasing your bones, if you will, and like I don't know, maybe that goes into ligaments too, but like helps release the bones and get back to where they are. But like if your muscles are all tight and stuff, then like the bones are just gonna go back. So I like that you're like going back. A lot of people don't realize that, so that's really cool. But that's funny. I would love to see like a snip of you with that fascia work in there.
I don't know. My eyes were bucking like, oh, I don't think. Hold on one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and then I actually, as you were saying that, sorry, I'm like having like the itchies everywhere. I was thinking of a stretch that I give some of my clients who get that neck pain. in here, and you'd actually be able to do it a lot better than I can because you're on a chair.
Okay.
So what I normally have my clients do is I just have them sit really, really tall, and I'll kind of bring you down. You can see a little bit of myself. And then so for you, your chair, you're able to put your hand like underneath, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now, so holding on to that, you're gonna like elongate your spine. So then like if you're holding on with this hand underneath, you should just feel this start to pull, and maybe even here. Exactly. And then you're gonna start to tilt your neck, or you can like tuck your chin and tilt it as well. And like tucking and tilting will get more of the back, but centered, and then like just here to here, that will get more to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're just breathing. And the good thing about this is like you can basically do it anywhere. And then yeah, you can just like do a couple of reps or just hold it, whatever feels good. And that's like normally one that I give my clients if they're getting like those tension headaches, or they're feeling a lot of tightness in here.
Try that one. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry.
Hey. We're recording though. Oh.
She's so cute.
Those are both both. I'm watching more. I'm being on the bed. Those are mine. Oh yeah, those are yours. Yeah, those are yours. Yes. Yeah.
Was that Miss Queen?
Yeah, that was Miss Queen.
We got to get her on here and talk about her art sometime.
Oh yeah, we are. We're gonna definitely do that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of family, I wanted to kind of like put it out there that a couple weeks ago, I don't know if I stated on the podcast that my father was receiving his platinum plaque. I posted a video. You know this already. I posted a video, and on the page it went viral for some reason because my dad is in a funk group called Lakeside. Right now, the video is up to 190,000 views. It's at 40,000 comments and likes. And we opened up a GoFundMe for him as well. So there is the GoFundMe. I am not keeping this money, people. I am sending this money to my sister to assist her in my father's day-to-day care.
Repost it, even if you can't donate or anything, like just repost it so the word gets out there and like the funds can start coming in, because it's a crazy story. It's a crazy story.
Unfolding every day, and my goal is to once I get all the facts to be able to tell it, but it's just not right now. I can't really on it. I'm thankful for that. So moving forward, check it out, y'all. All right, so I guess the top two things, or all of the things, let's go with what we have so far. The things to do, I said 5 things to do after I said 5 exercises, but I'm going to add 5 things, and now we'll have 5 exercises. But the first is see a chiropractor, right?
Yes.
2 would be to get a massage.
The Thai massage.
Yeah, if you with it, you with it. I guess 3 would be to stretch and do some spinal, some spinal
elongation and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then some diaphragmatic breathing.
Of course.
And then stay mobile, so that'll lead us into these 5, or there's so many more, but I guess we'll go with 5 exercises to do after a car accident. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think definitely the bird dog, what you said, is, I would still categorize that as an exercise, right?
Say it again.
I would still say that's an exercise, right? I kind of view it as like a stretch and like a core activation, but I would say that's still an exercise.
I still see it as an exercise, but I see it more so to like stretch and core activation. But when you're extending the arm and the leg and trying to keep a flat spine, I feel like to me, it's kind of like helping to get that hip back into place and keep the body frame, I think that's a helpful move right there.
Absolutely.
And the absolute flip over would be the dead bug.
Yes.
The dead bug was you're especially flipping yourself onto the back, and was probably, if you're having major back pain, that's probably the best thing to do. And on that, directly on your back with your full back thoracic spine and lumbar spine touching the ground,
Yeah.
maintaining contact with your lumbar spine.
Yeah.
And just extend the right arm and the opposite leg, you know? Just back and forth. Those two are kind of like, I guess, can go in conjunction. So we're gonna
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I had more room. I would, or maybe I should push this back and like show, but like we'll record videos, I'm sure.
I can probably find some old video and just throw it in there. I'll find some.
Okay, cool. And then like what's another good, and I'm trying to think of things that people can do at home as well.
Well, dead bugs they could do at home. Maybe they could do hip bridges too.
Yeah, glute thrusters, getting the glutes activated so that the lower back isn't doing as much work.
Yes,
that's a good one. You can even do marching. You can even do like marching in at the top of the glute thruster or bridge or however.
Oh, yeah, because that's going to be a real good one to keep your hips stable.
Yes.
And I do notice after the accident that, as I told you, this left hip is kind of feeling a little wonky. So it is weird when I'm doing the march. Even when I'm marching, I'm hearing a little click, click every time. It is something to kind of help, again, get that thoracic spine to line up with the, so everything is trying to go back into, I guess, equilibrium, back to the, whatever, girl. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like those moves, anything that's helping you keep your body directly into the frame, and we're not like, unless you're one of those people that do your squats where you have like flexion in your lower back.
Yeah, but I don't even really like that. I like to keep the spine as neutral as possible. I'm like, I guess unless like you're struggling with scoliosis and like that's super painful. But I think mostly neutral spine is
spine the best. I think that's the best, but I do still have some clients that will give me that little spinal roll when they get to the bottom.
Yeah.
That maybe
like butt wink.
Yeah. So if you're one of those people, maybe get up against the wall of the ball.
There. That's actually a good idea. And I actually tried that with my client after we talked about it on that one podcast. Totally went into his knees, but his back looked really good.
Did you have him laying at an angle?
No, I just had the ball against the wall and then having like the squats and stuff, but like it was like worked in some parts, but not others. So I guess that's also a note, like some of these will work for many, but maybe not for all.
Right. I mean, you got to try them. You have to try and see what works for you.
Yeah.
So we had the hip bridge there. And I had spinal mobility exercises. So like Cobra. Like maybe it's more of a yoga move, but you'll go child's pose to Cobra to dog and down your knees.
Yeah.
And just like it's also kind of like a little sexy move too. If you
and that's exercises, get back into the bed.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm not kidding, but whatever helps. Whatever helps release that tension.
Oh, girl, if I was getting some, I'd be just fine. I would not be complaining about back pain. I'd be like, girl, not that hip.
That back pain is there for a different reason.
I would not.
That's what we're calling a car crash these days.
Yes. Oh, let's not talk about that. Oh God. Okay. Okay. So we have the spinal mobility.
And I do love what you said. Just to kind of go into more of like a strength movement, but still like a neutral spine or core activation, is when you said that you did a push from the ground, because you can do like a single arm push and that would be core activating, but you're also supported. So like that could be a movement where people are feeling like uncomfortable or some back pain, like with any kind of push, like on a cable or a bench, like getting all the way on the ground, working on the neutral spine that you were just talking about, and then doing like a single arm push, maybe your legs in a bridge or in like a tabletop position or whatever. But like, that's a really good one. I think that's really smart to do, like fully stable, but still pushing.
That one too, because what I know that a lot of the times when we're pushing heavier weight, I use my diaphragm mostly. And I felt like if I was standing trying to push a heavy weight, I wasn't going to have that stability in my spine. So I knew that if I had a flat lumbar and a flat, thoracic spine, I'll be able to use the strength from all of my upper body, not just like, and then any kind of disruption in your breathing could work against that, good stuff too. It can make pain in the back too. So I wanted to make sure that I had every access to a full breath in that position, not just being like,
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really, really smart. And I think the tactical cueing from like fully being on the ground is good because you're not worrying about balance. And like, I think you're right. A lot of people, they should use their breath when they're pushing. But a lot of people tend to only push through like their feet.
Right.
They like curve and like do all these funky things.
I really worked on a lot of mobility. I did a few hand-to-hand swings today just to kind of see how that felt.
Yeah.
We're going on a week now, so it's good that I started to get back into that type of mobility. I didn't want to go too hard, so I kept it at 1 hour today. But okay, so kettlebell pushes, and then also bent over rows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bent over rows. Really, today I can feel. After I left out of the gym, I felt so balanced, like my body here, especially, I feel a lot more balanced. I was doing cable pulls, and then I just folded it over and did a narrow kettlebell pull and just kind of pulled through my shoulder blades. So that one was very helpful. I feel so good today.
Yeah. And then when we, that one, we should definitely record a video and go over it with people, like the actual hinge and like really what to look out for when you are doing a bent over row, because you look like how your body works, right? But I don't want anyone, and I'm sure you'll agree, to like go into a bent over row and be like, oh, they said this would feel better, but it's not. It's like you have to know that your hinge is feeling good.
Yes.
And so,
and you having that start with that proper breathing.
Yeah. And I think everything almost like in my head would be kind of how I would program someone to get into that bent over row, the breathing, the neutral spine activation, all of that. And then to get into the bent over row, which I think is like the perfect test to make sure that like your spine is feeling good.
Yeah. You know what I did like as a great little tactical cue? I don't remember where I learned it from, but I made my client last week bend over all the way and keep their top mead on the ball.
Okay.
Like that made sure that they were fully like here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was no pain in the back in the spine. I was like, do a few breaths for me. And I poked into the spine to kind of feel like, hey, this is where I'm supposed to see this when you breathe.
Yeah.
And you helped him so much. But he needed that ball on his cheek to keep it in place, because otherwise he was just going to lean up and start going, oh, my back,
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then I just wanted to touch note, because I know you and I both love kettlebells, and some people are very against it because of like the pressure and whatnot, but and you let me know if you've heard this before, but the reason why I like kettlebells so much, especially for injuries, or if your like joints are feeling a little bit wonky, is the kettlebell is very, very dense. So if you're pushing and say the kettlebell's here, the mass of the weight is right over the joint, whereas a dumbbell is like here and here, and so it's like a little more like unstable. So when I have people who are working with injuries or through injury or whatever, if they're comfortable with kettlebells, that's why I prefer to use them. Like, have you heard of that before, or like what are your thoughts on that?
But that's why I kind of like have them build up their forearm strength on the size of the kettlebell.
Yeah.
And then like to use, which I need to get a new pair, but I like to use the Harbingers that you can like have that wrist support where it's kind of covered. Yeah. Because I know, again, the stronger we can get this wrist to be, the stronger this and this, different things from it. So I love the kettlebell. I love it. I like use it with every client, to the end, you know?
I'm gonna get you a pair of, actually, I think I have the pair right here. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. And I've had it on the show before. I'm gonna get you a pair of the I'm Bad wrist wraps. That's what I use.
Oh yes, I need those. Yes.
Yeah, because these are great because you can use them like as if you're just lifting on a bench. Like they have like the thumb thing. But like I normally when I'm doing kettlebells, I'll put it here if I'm like starting to bruise and whatnot. But then you
Yeah.
can still put it higher and have your wrists stable. So
I
I'm
like
trying to get you a pair of these actually. So next time I see you, I'll have these for you. But
I
these are
love
yeah.
I even today, I mean yesterday I went to I forgot what store, like Burlington or one of those stores, and I purchased the back support, like where I can kind of strap myself in and make sure
Yeah.
in my spine because I don't want to do my heavy pulls without having that full spinal
Yeah.
stability.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of tools that like people um see but don't consider using even temporarily or like just in heavy lifts or like if you're doing a lift that like normally feels good but it doesn't but you have that like just put it on like there's no shame in it. I always try to get people away from it a little bit like at some point but like if you need it strap on girl buckle
Yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah. So those are basically the things, you guys, that we do. I wanted to I don't do something new and do like a quick little meditation
Oh, okay.
on that and just kind of like send some good vibes through the, send them there.
There's
So I'm gonna find some Tibetan sound bowl.
Ooh, okay.
And let's just do about 2 to 3 minutes of breathing.
Okay. Diaphragmic.
Diaphragm
Let me take
breathing.
that.
Let me see here.
Yeah, but and while she's fighting that, if you guys are listening, please don't be shy. Like, let us know if you've tried these, if they worked, if there's other pain that like you would maybe like us to see if we can help with. Like, don't be shy. Like, we're doing this for each other, but also for y'all. So
Really, we really are.
yeah,
And it's beneficial for everyone. Like share this video and share with other people that are having issues, and maybe a few of these things will work for them,
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
2 minutes. And so for a diaphragmatic breath, I'm gonna just be sitting upright with my feet fully placed into the floor.
Perfect.
Hands relaxed on the knees here.
Okay.
And I have back up against the chair, which is a great way to kind of like get that feedback from the breath.
Yeah.
So as we fill up the stomach with air, we are going to expand the stomach all the way out. You can put 2 fingers in the stomach if you need to. And then as we exhale, we're going to let that stomach fully deflate and engage that core all the way till all the air is all the way out. Okay. And we'll just do that for about 2 minutes and see what happens.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna do my cross-legged shit over here. So,
Whatever it is. All right. Start to slowly bring yourself back. There it is. That helped me a little more centered, with the rain outside and everything like that. We hopefully
motorcycles. I don't know if you heard the motorcycles on my end.
But hey, whatever helps us to settle back in, hopefully this video helped you to find a few different exercises and things to do after a car accident. Yeah. I am Oracle or Kawana OJD Lewis of the Trap Bootcamp podcast, and this is my co-host
Sam Silver at X_all mode or 0BS.fit.
Yes, please follow us online, you guys. And if you want any information from either one of us, if you need some help training, hit me up at Trap Bootcamp or hit her up at 0BS.fit on Instagram. We are here to help. We've learned these things to help our community. So if you're looking for a good trainer in your area, West Valley, LA, hit us up. All right.
All right. Thank you guys soon. Please let us know how this feels and if you need help with anything, really. Well, not anything, but like most things.
Yes.
I wonder how risky we're trying to be.
Right. As always, follow. To support the Trap Bootcamp podcast, please rate, review, and subscribe. Leave a message on our Anchor page. We'd love to hear from you. Follow us on all social media platforms and share if you got the time.